Most people think their 401 and IRA are locked in a vault until age 59 and a half, and if they dare to touch them early, they'll be hit with a 10% penalty plus income taxes. That's what the banks and financial advisors want you to believe. But what if I told you there's a completely legal, IRS-approved way to unlock your retirement money in your 40s or even your 30s, tax-free and penalty-free, using a simple strategy called the Roth conversion ladder? And what if the government actually designed this loophole to encourage early retirement, but almost no one knows how to use it? If you stay until the end of this video, you'll learn exactly how to build your own Roth conversion ladder, step by step. I'll show you the timing, the tax math, and the 5-year rule that makes it all work. You'll never feel trapped by your retirement accounts again. My name is your name, and today we're breaking into your retirement accounts legally. Let me start with a story. Meet James. At age 35, he had $300,000 in his traditional 401k. He wanted to retire at 45, but every expert told him he couldn't touch that money until 59.5 without a 10% penalty. So he kept working, miserable, for another decade. Then he discovered the Roth conversion ladder. At 45, he quit his job. He started converting $40,000 a year from his traditional 401k to a Roth IRA. He paid taxes on the conversions, but because his income was low, he paid almost nothing. 5 years later, at age 50, he started withdrawing those converted amounts completely tax-free and penalty-free. He retired at 50 instead of 60, and he's now living off his Roth ladder. James didn't break any laws. He just used the rules the way they were written. The Roth conversion ladder is the most powerful early retirement strategy in existence. It allows you to move money from your traditional 401k or traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, wait 5 years, and then withdraw that money, tax-free and penalty-free, at any age. The key is understanding two things: the 5-year rule on Roth conversions and the fact that you can withdraw your Roth contributions at any time. But before we dive into the mechanics, let's cover the basics. There are two types of retirement accounts. Traditional accounts, 401k, traditional IRA, give you a tax deduction when you contribute. The money grows tax deferred. You pay income tax when you withdraw, and if you withdraw before 59.5, you pay an additional 10% penalty. Roth accounts, Roth 401k, Roth IRA give you no tax deduction now, but the money grows tax-free, and withdrawals after 59.5 are completely tax-free. And here's the match: you can withdraw your direct Roth contributions, not the earnings, at any time, for any reason, with no tax and no penalty. So if you can get money into a Roth IRA, you can get it out tax-free. The Roth conversion ladder is the bridge that moves money from your traditional accounts to your Roth IRA. Here's the step-by-step process. Step 1. While you're still working, contribute as much as possible to your traditional 401k. Every dollar you contribute lowers your taxable income now. If you're in the 22% tax bracket, you save 22 cents on every dollar. That's free money from the government. Don't use a Roth 401. At this stage, you want the tax deduction now. Max out your traditional 401k if you can. In 2026, the limit is $23,500. Step 2. After you retire early, or even while you're still working but have low income, start converting money from your traditional 401k to a Roth IRA. Asterisk. You can do this by rolling over your 401k to a traditional IRA first, free and easy, then converting portions of that traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. The amount you convert is added to your ordinary income for the year. So if you convert $40,000, you'll pay income tax on that $40,000 at your marginal rate. But if you're retired and have no other income, Your tax rate could be very low, maybe 10% or even 0% if you convert less than the standard deduction. In 2026, the standard deduction for a single filer is about $15,000. That means you can convert up to $15,000 and pay $0 in federal income tax. For a married couple filing jointly, the standard deduction is about $30,000. So you can convert $30,000 tax-free. That's $30,000 per year, moving from traditional to Roth with no tax bill. Over 5 years, that's $150,000 of tax-free conversions. Step 3, wait 5 years. The IRS has a 5-year rule for Roth conversions. When you convert money from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, that converted amount is subject to a 5-year waiting period. If you withdraw the converted amount within 5 years, you'll pay a 10% penalty, but not income tax, because you already paid tax on the conversion. Wait 5 years, and the penalty disappears. After 5 years, you can withdraw that converted amount completely tax-free and penalty-free, regardless of your age. This is the ladder. You convert money in year 1, it becomes available in year 6. You convert in year 2, available in year 7, and so on. You build a ladder of converted funds that mature every year, giving you a steady stream of tax-free income. Step 4. Live off your bridge funds during the first 5 years. Asterisk. You can't withdraw your converted amounts until 5 years after each conversion. So you need another source of money for years 1 through 5. That's your bridge. The bridge can come from 3 places: your taxable brokerage account, your direct Roth IRA contributions, which are always available, or a part-time job. If you've been saving in a taxable account, that's your bridge. If you've been making direct Roth IRA contributions over the years, those contributions are available immediately. You can also do a Roth IRA contribution ladder. Contribute directly to a Roth IRA while working, and those contributions are your first few years of living expenses. Plan ahead. Let me walk you through a detailed example. Meet Lisa. She's 40 years old. She has $500,000 in her traditional 401(n). She wants to retire at 45. She also has $100 zone in a taxable brokerage account, her bridge. She plans to live on $40,000 per year. At age 45, she retires. For the next 5 years, ages 45 to 49, she lives off her taxable brokerage account. Each of those years, she also converts $40,000 from her traditional 401(n) to her Roth IRA. She pays income tax on that $40,000. But because she has no other income, after the standard deduction of $15,000, she pays tax on $25,000. In the 10% bracket, that's about $2,500 per year. That's a 25% effective tax rate, much lower than the 22% she saved when contributing. So she's winning the tax arbitrage game now. At age 50, 5 years after her first conversion, she can withdraw that first $40,000 from her Roth IRA completely tax-free and penalty-free. At age 51, she withdraws the second $40,000, and so on. Meanwhile, her remaining traditional 401(n) continues to grow. She's created a self-sustaining ladder that funds her retirement from 50 onward. She never pays another dime of tax on that money, and she never paid the 10% early withdrawal penalty. That's the Roth conversion ladder. But what if you have a large traditional 401(n) and you need more than the standard deduction amount? You can still do the ladder, but you'll pay some tax. For example, if you need $80, so $1,000 per year, you might convert $80,000. After the $15,000 standard deduction, you'll pay tax on $65,000. That's about $8,000 to $10,000 in federal income tax, depending on the brackets. That's still a low effective rate compared to your working years. And remember, you would have paid income tax anyway if you withdrew from your traditional 401 NENG after 59.5. The latter just lets you access it earlier and at a potentially lower tax rate. Now let me address the mechanics. How do you actually execute a Roth conversion? It's simple. First, roll over your 401 to a traditional IRA. When you leave your job, you can roll your 401 into a traditional IRA at any brokerage, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. This is not a taxable event. Second, inside your traditional IRA, choose the amount you want to convert. Click Convert to Roth IRA. The brokerage will ask if you want to withhold taxes. Do not withhold taxes from the conversion. Pay the taxes from your bridge money, taxable account, or cash. If you withhold taxes from the conversion, that amount is treated as an early withdrawal and you'll pay a penalty. So always pay the tax with outside funds. Third, the converted money goes into your Roth IRA. Wait 5 years, then withdraw. One critical nuance: the 5-year rule applies separately to each conversion. So if you convert $10,000 in 2026, that $10,000 becomes available in 2031. If you convert $20,000 in 2027, that becomes available in 2032. You need to keep track of your conversions. Your brokerage will track the basis of your Roth IRA, the amount of contributions and conversions. For the Roth conversion ladder, you only need to track the conversion amounts. The IRS Form 8606 handles this. Your CPA or tax software can help. Another nuance: the 5-year rule for Roth conversions is different from the 5-year rule for Roth earnings. The earnings on your Roth IRA, the growth, cannot be withdrawn tax-free until you are 59.5 and the account has been open for 5 years, but you're not withdrawing earnings. You're withdrawing the converted principal, so that rule doesn't apply. Focus on the conversion amounts. What about if you already have a Roth IRA? Great. The same rules apply. Your existing Roth IRA has its own 5-year clock for earnings, but the conversion ladder uses a separate 5-year clock per conversion. Keep good records. Now, let me give you a real-world example from someone I know. A viewer named Paul was 38, had $250,000 in a traditional 401A, and wanted to retire at 45. He had $50,000 in a taxable account. He started converting $30,000 per year from his 401A to a Roth IRA at age 40 while still working. Why convert while working? Because his income was low enough that year. He took a sabbatical. That's allowed. He paid 12% tax on the conversions. Then at 45, he retired. He lived off his taxable account for years 45 to 49. At 50, he started withdrawing the conversions from age 40, which had aged 5 years. He had a seamless retirement. He told me, "I wish I had known about this 10 years earlier." Now, what about the mega backdoor Roth? That's a different strategy for supercharging your Roth contributions while working. The Roth conversion ladder is for accessing money in early retirement. Both are powerful. I covered the mega backdoor in Script 6. Here's a common question: can I use the Roth conversion ladder if I'm still working but want to access my 401 early for an emergency? You could, but it's not ideal. If you convert while working, your marginal tax rate is likely higher, and you still have to wait 5 years to withdraw penalty-free. So the ladder is best for people who have retired early or are in a low-income year, like a sabbatical or between jobs. It's a planning tool, not a quick cash solution. Another question: what about the rule of 55? That's a different exception. If you leave your job in the year you turn 55 or later, you can withdraw from that specific 401A without the 10% penalty, but you still pay income tax. The Roth ladder gives you tax-free withdrawals. So for early retirees under 55, the ladder is superior. What about SEP, substantially equal periodic payments? That's another way to access retirement funds early. You take substantially equal payments based on your life expectancy, and you avoid the 10% penalty. But SEP is rigid. You can't change the amount easily, and you must continue for 5 years or until 59.5. The Roth ladder is much more flexible. You decide how much to convert each year. You can skip years. You can adjust for market conditions. That's why the ladder is the preferred method for most early retirees. Now, let me give you a step-by-step action plan to set up your own Roth conversion ladder. Step 1. Estimate your early retirement spending. Calculate how much you need per year. Let's say $40,000. That's your target withdrawal. Step 2. Build your bridge fund. You need 5 years of living expenses in a taxable account or Roth contributions. That's $200. Zero for $40,000 per year. If you don't have that, you can work part-time or use a smaller conversion amount. Step 3. After you retire or in a low-income year, start converting. Asterisk, convert the amount you plan to spend in 5 years. If you need $40,000 per year, convert $40,000 each year. Pay the taxes from your bridge fund. Step 4. Track your conversions. Asterisk, use a spreadsheet. Year of conversion, amount, 5-year availability date. Step 5. After 5 years, start withdrawing. Withdraw the exact amounts that have aged 5 years. Use those withdrawals as your living expenses. Step 6. Repeat every year. Each year, convert the amount you'll need in 5 years. Withdraw the amount that matured from 5 years ago. This creates a perpetual ladder. Let me show you a table. Year 1, retirement year, convert $40,000. Year 2, convert $40,000. Year 3, convert $40,000. Year 4, convert $40,000. Year 5, convert $40,000. Year 6, withdrawal. Conversion $40,000, convert new $40,000 for year 11. Year 7, withdraw year 2's conversion, convert new $40,000, and so on. This works until your traditional IRA is exhausted. If you have a large traditional balance, the ladder can last decades. Now let's talk about taxes during the conversion years. The goal is to convert in low tax brackets. If you're married and have no other income, you can convert about $30,000 tax-free standard deduction. Then the next $23,000 is taxed at 10% up to about $23,000 in taxable income. So $30,000 plus $23,000, $53,000 converted with only about $20,300 in tax. That's a 4.3% effective tax rate. After that, you enter the 12% bracket. So for a married couple, converting $80,000 might cost $8,000–$10,000 in federal income tax. That's still cheap compared to the 22–24% you saved during your working years. What about state taxes? Some states tax Roth conversions, others don't. Check your state. If you live in a high-tax state, consider moving to a no-income tax state before starting your ladder. That's a legitimate strategy used by many early retirees. One more advanced tactic. The Roth conversion ladder works even better if you have a mix of traditional Roth and taxable accounts. You can strategically choose which account to draw from each year to minimize taxes. For example, in a low-income year, you might convert more to Roth. In a high-income year, maybe you have consulting income, you might skip conversions. The flexibility is immense. Now, let me bust a myth. Some people think you can only convert when you retire. Not true. You can convert any year you have low income, a sabbatical, unemployment, a gap year, or even a year when you take a pay cut. You can also convert while working, but you'll pay your marginal tax rate. If that rate is lower than what you expect in retirement, it still makes sense. But generally, the ladder is most powerful in early retirement. Another myth, The Roth conversion ladder is only for the wealthy. Not true. Anyone with a traditional 401(n) or IRA can use it. Even small conversions matter. A teacher with a $100,000 traditional IRA could convert $15,000 a year tax-free, build a $75 Zusen ladder over 5 years, and retire early with tax-free income. That's not wealth. That's a middle-class superpower. Let me give you a concrete example with real numbers from 2026. Assume a single filer, age 45, no other income. Standard deduction, $15,000. Convert $15,000 taxed dollars. Convert another $11,000, the 10% bracket, tax $100. Total conversion $26,000. 100, effective rate 4.2%. That's a fantastic deal. Over 5 years, you'd move $130,000 to Roth, paying only $5,500 in total tax. Then you'd have 130 Zusen of tax-free withdrawals available starting at age 50. That could fund a few years of early retirement. Combine with a part-time job and you're golden. Now, what about health insurance? If you retire early, you need health insurance. The Roth conversion ladder actually helps because your taxable income is low. You're converting small amounts, so you qualify for large Affordable Care Act subsidies. If you had taken money directly from your traditional 401(n), your income would be higher and you'd lose subsidies. So the ladder saves you money in 2 ways: lower taxes and lower health insurance costs. Let me address the biggest risk. What if you convert too much and the market crashes? The conversion amount is fixed in dollars. If the market drops after you convert, the value of your Roth IRA drops, but you already paid tax on the full conversion amount. That's a risk. To mitigate, convert only what you need and consider converting during market dips. Lower share prices mean you convert more shares for the same tax cost, but don't try to time the market. Just convert steadily. Another risk: what if you need the money before 5 years? Then you'll pay the 10% penalty on the conversion amount. So don't convert money you might need soon. That's why you need a bridge fund of taxable or Roth contributions for the first 5 years. Build that first. Now, let me give you a step-by-step checklist to implement the Roth conversion ladder in your own life. Point 1. Calculate your early retirement target age and annual spending. Point 2. Calculate your bridge funding needed, 5 years of spending. Point 3. If you don't have enough in taxable Roth contributions, work longer or reduce spending. Point 4. When you retire or have a low income year, roll your 401(n) to a traditional IRA. Point 5. Each year, convert an amount equal to your annual spending, or less depending on tax brackets. Point 6. Pay the conversion taxes from your bridge fund. Do not withhold from the conversion. Point 7. Track each conversion's date. Point 8. After 5 years, withdraw the conversion amount from your Roth IRA tax-free. Point 9. Repeat annually. One more powerful tip: you can start the ladder before you retire. If you have a low-income year, maybe you're between jobs, on a sabbatical, or working part-time, do a Roth conversion. That starts the 5-year clock earlier. Then when you retire, your first ladder rung is already maturing. This is a pro move. Let me tell you about a couple who did this perfectly. Mark and Lisa, both 40, had $600,000 in traditional 401(n)(es). They had $150,000 in a taxable account. They wanted to retire at 48. Starting at age 43, they began converting $50,000 per year from their traditional IRAs to Roth IRAs. They paid taxes from their taxable account. At age 48, they retired. Their first conversions from age 43 matured when they turned 48. They had a 5-year ladder already built. They lived off their taxable account for years 48-52, but they also had Roth conversions maturing each year. It worked seamlessly. They're now 55 and have never paid a penny in early withdrawal penalties. Their tax rate in retirement is near zero. You can be Mark and Lisa. The Roth conversion ladder is not a secret. It's in the tax code, but it's hidden under layers of complexity. Now you have the map. Here's your action plan for today. 1. Log into your 401 ARA. Note the balance. Point 2. Estimate your early retirement annual spending. Point 3. Calculate how much bridge funding you need. Spending X 5.4. If you don't have bridge funding, start saving in a taxable account. Point 5. Consider doing a small Roth conversion this year, even $1,000, to start your 5-year clock. You can always do more later. Point 6. Comment below, my first conversion will be dollars. I'll reply with encouragement. If this video unlocked a path to early retirement for you, hit the like button. It helps others who feel trapped by their retirement accounts. Subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next video, I'm going to show you why your bank is paying you 0.01% interest and how to find 5% yield safely in 2026. You won't want to miss that one. The Roth conversion ladder, your escape route from the 9-to-5 grind. Build your Gumulder, wait 5 years and walk into freedom. It's legal, it's smart, and now you know how. I'll see you in the next video.